is looking for a second date update with a woman named Dana, and we're here to help him out. Hi, Cory.
Good morning. Love the show. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. How can we help?
Well, I need so much help. I guess I'll start here. I've been trying to date this girl. She's just not getting back to me, so I figured you guys are the best resource I have.
Okay, so you haven't gone out with her at all then? This is just someone you want to go out with?
No. We actually met her out once, and then I actually went out on the first date, but then after that, nothing.
Got it. And how did you two meet?
The old-fashioned way, boozed up at a bar.
All right. I do that sometimes when I go out to bars with Scott. I'll look around and I'll be like, do you think people are actually meeting other people in here now?
Oh, yeah.
Like, who's single? That guy?
I thought you were
that
looking
girl?
around saying, yeah, I'd hit that.
No, we do that too. We're like, oh, yeah, 25-year-old me, hello.
Trust me, I'm the same way. Anybody who's not looking at their phone is open season.
Right.
That's the way I look
funny.
at it.
So what happened?
So I'm just hanging out with my buddies, and then, I see Dana. She's hot. We talked just one-on-one for 2 hours in the bar.
Wow.
And then after that, I get her number. I don't wait the 48, 72 hours. I text her the next day. And then the day after that, we're at coffee.
That's great.
Right. That's what I'm, sensible, hour-long date, middle of the day, right? Super safe.
Yeah.
Talked about everything. It was the most comfortable date I had ever been on. She's laughing the whole time. Plus, she's hot during the day. It wasn't like beer bottle hot at night. She was actually legit hot with the lights on.
That's so funny.
And that's it. We talked. And then at the end of the date, I walk her to her car. We talk about hanging out again. She's like, oh, yeah, great. Gave me a hug. And then I hit her up. Nothing.
Huh. What's her story? Is she out of a relationship recently, or has she been single for a while? Did you get a sense?
She seemed like she'd been single for at least more than a year, but didn't really come off like she was hard on the prowl.
Okay.
I don't date a lot, so it's to have a great date. You'd think we'd follow up. She was cool with it, and then to get, nothing.
Right.
Stinks.
Yeah. But so you were saying how you spent a couple hours at the bar the first time you met her, just chit-chatting away, and then you do the coffee date, and you said it was equally as good. Were you there as long?
No. So we had 2 hours in the bar, and then coffee was only an hour.
Oh, well,
Okay.
that's still pretty significant.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah. It wasn't like one of those dates where the girl shows up, stares at me, and then runs away.
Right. No, but just typically, sometimes with a coffee date, you're up against the clock because you got to get back to work or you got stuff to do or whatnot. But that's great that you guys hung out.
Right, and that's why I do the coffee date because, it's easy to get in, it's easy to get out. And if it turns into lunch, it turns into dinner, it turns into, sleepover.
Right, without the pressure. Okay, so you reached out, no response. You're confused. There's nothing you can think of, no potential, pitfalls or red flags or awkward moments that you think could be playing into this.
No, and I crushed it, and I was hilarious, and she thought so, and then I had for sure secured a second date, so I don't know what happened.
Okay,
Yeah.
I love the confidence.
I do too. I was going to say, I don't think you sound I think I'd give you a call. You sound pretty good.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
All right, you got a backup.
You don't sound creepy at all.
All right, tell you what, Cory, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to give Dana a call and see what she thought of you and her meetup and her coffee date and the potential for a third meetup as second date update continue over coffee the next day. And they hung out about an hour. You know how it is, you've been drinking, so that's one thing. Let's see how we feel tomorrow when we're sober and we're looking at each other in the daylight if we're still feeling that energy.
Do we still like each other?
Yeah, and Cory's pretty convinced that it was still there and it was very good. And she seemed open to getting together again for a formal date, but when he reached out, she hasn't responded. So this is where we're at. And if you're ready, Cory, unless you thought of anything else you want to add to the conversation, we're going to call her up.
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Hello?
Hi, is this Dana?
Yeah, this is Dana.
Hey, Dana, it's Jeff and Jen, along with Fritch and Tim at Q102. How are you?
Morning.
Hi.
Oh, wow. Okay.
What you up to? You busy?
Nothing, just kind of hanging out, you know.
Okay. You got to work today, or are you working from home?
I'm working from home, but kind of slow today, so I'm just watching the TV, court TV.
Tim's favorite channel.
That's so funny.
It's my napping channel. Yeah.
That's funny. What kind of work do you do?
I work in HR for a company. It's kind of slow, it's end of the year. Nothing much going on.
That's great.
No complaints.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. We were talking to a friend of yours a little bit ago, Cory, who you met recently, and he sounds like he sounds like a confident guy, but a nice guy. Fritch seems to like him.
Yeah, I like his tone. I definitely would have given him a drink at the bar.
Yeah. And Cory definitely likes you. So we just wanted to follow up and see if you'd be interested in seeing Cory again. Not to put you on the spot, but I guess we wanted to get your thoughts on Cory and if you saw any potential there.
Yeah, he was a nice guy, but just, I don't know, a little too eager, a little too needy for me.
Too needy?
Yeah, okay, so he would ask me questions about things that I'd like or, just things about me. And I would tell him what I like. And he would say, well, I don't know about that, but I'm willing to learn. He never really had his own opinion about anything. And I don't know, he just seemed kind of soft to me, and I like my guys with a little more.
Soft to you?
Yeah, he was just different from the bar, and it could have been, as Jamie Foxx say, blame it on alcohol, but he just seemed to have,
Can you give us an example of what you mean by he didn't seem to have his own opinion? Like when you were talking about likes and dislikes.
Yeah, you were ask me, what do I like to do in my downtime? And I would say,
I like to watch court TV.
Yeah, I like to watch court TV. It was never a thing of what he liked. He was like, well, I don't know about that, but, if it means spending time with you, then, maybe I can get the hang of it. It was just never his own opinion. He never just really seemed to have his own thing. And I kind of like my guys, just a little rough around the edges, not really rough, a little grit. Like that, and Cory just seemed different from what he was. Coffee was like, I don't know, with my play cousin versus Friday night at the bar. He was had his own opinion. He seemed to be a leader, but with Coffee, I don't know, it's a little mousy.
Well, I feel like we're conflating interests versus, opinions about this, that, or the other thing. In other words, he may not know about this interest or that interest that you have, but he's got his own interests. You saying he didn't have his own interests?
No, he didn't really have an opinion about anything. It was more about, I don't want to make it sound like it was all about me because he did make it all about me. But then when I tried to engage in conversation, he didn't have much of what he liked to do. And it was just whatever you like, whatever
Super
you
agreeable.
like.
Yeah, but I bet that was because, I don't know, I'm not going to speak for him, but I would have a feeling like when he's drunk at the bar, he doesn't really have his inhibitions, that he's just free saying whatever he wants. But when he met you sober, maybe he was a little more like, oh, I got to play my cards right because I really like this girl.
Yeah, it's a date. I got to be polite.
So he was kind of holding back. I don't know. That's just how I've seen dates go.
It just seemed natural. It didn't even seem like he was, liquored up or anything like that. And even if he would just say something about himself, he would say, so how do you feel about that? It's like he had to get approval of who he were. I don't know. It was a little awkward.
Huh.
And like I said, I like my men with a little more grit. So he just seemed totally different. The beer guy was different from the coffee guy. I like the beer guy.
Okay.
If the beer guy took me out for coffee,
right,
maybe so, but I don't know. Just a little too sensitive for me.
Well,
what I like.
I'd like to bring Cory into the conversation if we could just for a second, because I want to get his take on this. Do you get what she's saying? Or do you think there's any truth to what she's saying?
Heaven forbid a nice guy goes out on a date.
Yeah,
and then she calls me soft.
I know. I heard that word and I just grimaced. No guy likes being called soft.
No.
That's just not a good word.
Okay. Maybe
I need grit. I'm not a toilet cleanser.
Okay, not soft, Cory, but you just didn't. I don't know. You just didn't seem as outgoing with coffee as you did with the beer. So to me, it was all about, well, what do you like? And then if I tell you what I like, well, I don't know if I like that, but I like you. So I don't know. It was just
Okay.
I mean,
It wasn't
open,
enough alpha male
agreeable,
for-
willing to learn, a good listener. I mean, how many women complain that they can't find a nice guy, that they don't exist, that they're not out there, and then you get one, and then here you are complaining. I mean, if that's not an example of
maybe
just a stone-cold human resources villain, I don't know what is.
Well, I'm not a villain. I just know what I like, and you, the coffee guy, was just not it. I'm sorry. Maybe you're just not meeting the right women, and you're misrepresenting yourself. That's really what you're doing, because you're one way on Friday night, and then Saturday afternoon, I'm like, okay, who is this, Mr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? I don't know.
How am I misrepresenting myself when at the end of the date I said, let's go out again, and you're like, yeah, let's do it.
Oh, man. He's not
we're
wrong.
just kind of trying to get out of the conversation.
Oh, my
Sorry.
God.
Not
Stop.
sorry.
Okay, obviously not a match.
Yeah.
I would just throw this out there, Dana. If a guy's trying to get to know you and you're like, hey, I like A, B, and C, and these are things that he doesn't, he's not really into or he's never done before, but he's curious enough about you to say, I'd be willing to try it. I'd be down for that. I'll try anything once. You think that makes him soft?
No, it was just his whole character. He was one way under the influence, seemingly, and then the next day he was a totally different person.
Got
it was
it.
just
Okay.
It was
It's a
totally
chemistry
different person.
thing then for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Got it.
The beer was more chemistry than the coffee.
Okay.
Period. No second date for me. I'm sorry.
Well,
Wow.
You know, not everybody is for everybody.
yeah.
At the end of the day, yeah.
Well, thanks for having the conversation with us. We appreciate you taking the call.
Sure, no problem.
We'll let you get back to Court TV.
Thanks. Best of luck to you, Corey.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, Cory.
Yeah, Cory, don't worry. I think you're going to be just fine
I
out
think
there,
so
Cory.
too. And
yeah.
we appreciate you putting yourself out there, man.
Oh, no, and thank you so much for helping, and I'm glad I know.
Anytime. We're here.
Thank you.
All right, buddy.